What's up, world of YouTube? This is Josh with my channel HapaWorks, where I am going to be giving you the best quality of content, cars, scenes, videos, installs, whatever that looks like that I can with my limited resources. I'm still learning. I'm just starting this. This is actually going to be one of my first videos, so I hope you leave some comments and just let me know if you like the detail, if you'd like to see less detail and just kind of skip through some scenes faster. Today we're just going to be installing the Aeroflow Dynamics V2 front lip on the 22 WRX. Yeah, super easy. I hope you follow along. I hope you enjoy it. We'll go into some B-roll, and then at the very end, I'll do a tiny little bonus thing that you can do, and I'll leave a link to that in the description as well because I think it's really cool. All right, here we go. So first I'm going to show how to take the front bumper off, which is actually super simple. The first step is going to be to take out these 6 10mm bolts. Once you take those out, there will be 3 pop clips. And then the pop clips, all you need is a flathead. Now if you have a panel popper, that works as well. That'd probably be better, or even for these, the tools with the 2 little forks on. I have one, I just can't find it. But for these ones, all you need to do is get underneath it, pull it up just a little bit, about halfway. This doesn't have to come out all the way. And then that gives it enough room to just kind of pry up, and then you can pull it out. And there should be 3 of these, I believe. And this piece should just pull right off. There's going to be 2 push pins in here. Now this took me a bit to figure out, but push pins are called that because you literally push on the center piece. Once that's depressed, these pins just come out with a little bit of leverage from underneath. You can kind of push them in. You'll hear it when they depress. And then again, there's probably a better tool for this, but if you get underneath it, you can kind of prime up and out of there. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Alright, next you're going to go underneath the vehicle. This one's going to be very hard for me to show because my car is lowered, but there should be 8 or 9 clips basically located around. There's one right here. There is another one right here. There's one right here, and another one a little bit more towards the center. Now yours may or may not have one in the dead smack center. Mine currently doesn't, and I think that's because I left one out when I reassembled this. And then you're going to have the same thing on the opposite side. Now there is another clip right here. This clip is only to hold this piece right here onto the center section and the bumper. Sorry, just to the center section. So this one doesn't need to be removed until you're trying to separate this piece off. As with most exterior parts on this, is just to start yanking. I'll kind of show you where I like to pull from to make sure that I don't damage anything. If you took all your clips off, you should be good to go, but double check. If you start pulling on something and something feels too tight, don't keep going. Try and look for that spot. There's probably still a clip attached. So what I like to do is I like to come over here, kind of in the corner, and just start pulling out. And this whole piece will separate off. This piece has to come out and then forward. So you're gonna wanna do that on both sides. Now as this comes off, don't just rip the bumper off. If you have a premium, a limited, a GT, you're gonna have your fog light connected. It actually connects to the bumper, and so your electrical connector is running up to it. So once you have it separated off a little bit, try and reach in there. It should be real easy. You just kind of reach underneath and depress the pin on the clip, and it should just come right off. For the lip install, I did things a little bit differently. Instead of using the supplied hardware, which is essentially self-tapping screws, I like using these guys because it's very similar to how OEM mounts body panels. And it's basically just a kit that you can buy off Amazon. The little page up here will actually tell you what to drill them out to if you want to use, the different ones. I found these ones to hold the best. And I'll leave a link to these guys in the description as well. You're gonna need a drill. You're going to need a couple stepper bits if you'd like to, or just use the drill bit in the size that's recommended. You'll also need a Phillips head screwdriver to assemble the lip because it comes in 3 pieces. And then a paint pen, that's kind of optional, but just for you to mark out where you want to drill your holes. Screws are usually in a little hardware baggie. And it's gonna be the shorter ones. And put the screw in. Now with a screwdriver, now I would leave it loose first so that way you can kind of push it together before you tighten it up. So now I have the screws in but not tight. I'm gonna take it and just kind of push the edges together, make sure they're meeting up nicely. While I hold it, just gonna tighten it. And don't go too tight since you're just going into plastic. You don't want to strip it out. And there you go. Then you do the same thing on the other side. Mock up the lip. Now you can do this with just painter's tape or whatever you want to do to kind of just hold it on there first, and then figure out where you want to drill your holes. So for mine, I had to do the 7mm holes. I made sure that they're not going to line up with anything that ends up on the outside of the bumper. And I just drilled 3 holes on each side. So right here, and I'm fixing up to finish this one right here. I've already put 2 clips in on each side, and that's just to make sure that I like where it's lined up currently. Here it is all lined up. I'm liking where it's at, so I'm gonna drill the last holes in the corners, and then we'll attach it and throw the bumper back on the car. I'm also gonna put one in the center just because there's nothing really supporting it right there, and I would rather have one of these clips. I have one more left. There it is. Then just check that your lip is good. When you go to reattach your bumper, don't forget to hook your fog lights back up. Okay, I'm going to attempt to show you what the lip looks like. I'm super happy with it. I think it looks better than the STI optional lip that you can buy. The optional lip, or the STI lip, essentially has these like 2 little almost like vampire fangs that come out, and I'm not a huge fan of those. I think it just, the car already has a lot of those kind of just pointed features, so I wanted to go with something that just extends out a little bit, and I think this lip looks a little bit more aggressive. Just a huge shout out to Aeroflow. This is actually my second lip. I broke the first lip just because I hit something on the freeway. That's none of their fault, but broke it on the way down to SoCal, hit Jeff up at Aeroflow, and he had another lip ready for me to go pretty much within the next day. So that was awesome. I got to pick that up and mount this one up. This one I actually ended up putting a couple more of those clips in and only use the big clips, and it is super sturdy now, and I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. I think this lip looks really good. I'm gonna roll into some B-roll, so just to attempt to show you guys really what it looks like on the car, and I hope you enjoyed this install. On this part, you may agree or disagree with me. I really don't care. I like it. I ordered one of these little STI emblems that usually comes on the trim for any of the STI optional parts that you can order online, and I'm going to be installing it on the center of the lip there because I think it'll look good, and my car is meant to be kind of an homage to what could have been the STI.